Okay, so I see socialization operating in mother's tongue when Amy speaks like her mother, her imperfect English. So Amy first noticed this when she was doing a speech, and she realized that the English that she uses in her speech is very different from the English that she uses with her mom and around her husband. Um, so I think this is socialization because she was um, in a culture where she learned how to speak this specific type of English, which is often seen as imperfect English. So I also see this socialization occurring when she has the switch from the imperfect English to like the proper English, because she learned proper English from school and from studying and all that from books, and she uses that on her speeches and on her writing, whereas she learned imperfect English from her mom. So it's like a switch from the imperfect English and to the proper English, because one was learned from like her culture and like where she was like brought up, and then the other one is from school and readings and whatnot. Okay, so what have people learned about what good, proper, intelligent English is supposed to sound like? So I think, like I said in the book, in the article, it was good grammar, the right conditional phrases, past perfect tenses, like she mentioned that she used in her speeches. So like proper English would be like grammatically correct and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so I see prejudice happening when she mentioned that banks, restaurants, or stores did not take her mother seriously, or they pretended not to understand her just because of her race. So this was like a learned assumption by all these people that she didn't know English or she didn't speak proper English just because of what she looked like or what she sounded like, therefore causing them to like just already think that about her. So discrimination occurred when the hospital did not apologize about losing her mom's CAT scans, and they seemed careless and like they weren't giving her the proper care that she needed, even though she was anxious based on her past experiences. So this is discrimination because it's an action of being careless or not giving the proper care based on how she looked and how she spoke. So it was not until they spoke to Amy, her daughter, who spoke the good English that they were looking for, that they had then apologized. So for prompt 2, I see racialization happening when the white guy seen her racial status as Asian, like from her look, he automatically assumed she was Asian. So he automatically attached that and assumed her home country was somewhere other than America. He also attached her appearance with her ability to speak good English. So he automatically seen her, oh, she looks Asian, like she can't. It'd be super shocking if she knew how to speak English properly, because she's obviously not from here. That's what he was thinking, I assume. So his first opinion was just because she was Asian, he assumed she wouldn't be able to speak good English. So, what does this person actually know about her, and what has he assumed? So in reality, he knows nothing about her. It's like a stranger. He's literally just seen her. So he knows nothing about her, but he automatically assumed she didn't know how to speak English, proper English, and that she was Korean or Japanese, somewhere other than America, right off the bat, based on her looks. So at what point does racialization become prejudice? So racialization becomes prejudice when it becomes a harmful assumption, like language barrier, and assuming someone's not from here. So you're attaching meaning to what a certain person looks like, but when that meaning becomes harmful, like assuming that they don't know proper English and assuming that they're not from here, that's when it becomes prejudice, because it's like you're judging them. You have judgment. Identify which moment racial meaning. Okay, so racial meaning, like her Asian looks, is attached to place of origin. So her Asian appearance is attached to where she is assumed she is from. So it becomes prejudice when he assumes just because she's Asian, she will not know proper English, therefore being shocked when she does, which is very rude and harmful. Being like shocked or surprised that someone speaks good English, it's gonna come off as rude automatically. So the most important difference is power between prejudice, discrimination, and oppression. Because prejudice is just believing something about a certain group. It's not really that harmful. It could be rude, but it's not making a grand impact in their life. Whereas it only becomes truly harmful when it becomes discrimination. So that's when someone acts on the assumptions and treats that person differently because of what they look like. So then that turns into oppression, because when someone who is discriminating has power over a certain group of people and it becomes a pattern in certain businesses and certain areas where it has power over these minority groups, it becomes oppression eventually. So when it has power attached to, when discrimination and prejudice have power attached to it, it can turn into oppression of a specific minority group, causing them to be treated unfairly and whatnot.